What does 589 mean for you? What about 985? Do any of these numbers ring a bell? Well, they are a little bit of a rallying cry in the XRP community, and Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple seem to be keeping these numbers going for the past few years. I want to dig into the 589 theory, everything that you need to know about this. I've also found some great posts by people in the XRP space who have worked on this for quite some time, and they think they have some solutions to some of these answers. So let's dig into it. Here is Brad Garlinghouse's X, 589 followers. And of course, here is Ripple at 985. And you see that Anders X here said both Brad and Ripple have repegged 589 and 985 to their channels here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what these numbers mean to the XRP community, and we'll dig into this. The 589 figure originated in 2018, mainly as a meme and a bold price prediction, with some members of the community speculating XRP could reach $589 per token. This prediction was heavily promoted by an anonymous figure known as Bearable Guy 123, whose cryptic posts further fueled the hype. Over time, 589 became a rallying symbol, a meme, or even at times a topic of conspiracy theories for XRP's future. Now, Brad Garlinghouse's social media following has been very, very interesting, and he's continued this for the past, several years. This is not something that he's let up on. He's actually even got a tattoo, if you remember us going through all of that, it seemed pretty cryptic in that tattoo as well, like he's trying to tell us something. But Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, is widely recognized for consistently maintaining the following count at exactly 589 on X. This has created further speculation that he is either playfully acknowledging the meme or giving a subtle signal to the community. Despite persistent claims, Garlinghouse and legal experts have emphasized that this number has no direct correlation to XRP's actual price and market trajectory, dismissing it largely as a meme rather than an actionable signal. If it's a meme, is Brad Garlinghouse just trolling all of us consistently? If so, that guy's a master at it. So I just want to point that out. But there's also the ISO currency code theory, which I haven't heard this before, so it's pretty cool. Another explanation links 589 to an unassigned slot in the ISO 24217 currency standard, which some propose could be assigned to a future digital currency like XRP or Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD. While the theory garners interest, it remains speculation and is hindered by the fact that ISO assignments are alphabetical, not numerical. What about the number 985? The number 985 recently gained attention due to its association with a court document in the Ripple SEC lawsuit. Future filings being document number 985. Some XRP community interpret this as a numerological milestone, seeing significance in the progression from 589 to 985. However, its association is entirely speculative. Legal experts and observers note there is no substantive link and is largely seen as another example of the community-driven numerology. And then, it talks about why is this important? The recurring use of 589, 985 on social media, including Garlinghouse and Ripple's accounts, generates engagement and fosters a sense of community among XRP supporters. And then caution from experts. Just want to read this to you. Influential figures and legal experts regularly remind the public that these numbers should not be treated as investment signals or serious price targets. So, there is some concern about these numbers that, Ripple probably doesn't want to get sued. Now, I did try to look up some additional information here about it. Here is a great video that I wanted to dive into and break down for you, because non-financial-advice.crypto puts out some of the most classic videos, and this one, this one is a banger knockout one too. Let's get into this. Has 668,000 views on X.
This has to be one of the craziest 589s hidden in plain sight I've ever seen. Seriously. How do you...
Excuse me, there's some correlation between 589 when it comes to XRP and Bitcoin, and that's what this video is about.
Explain this one.
I think the macro trends around crypto are very, very, very positive. We can debate, how quickly those things are going to happen.
You guys, that was intentional. I don't know who we're waiting for at CNBC to give us confirmation, because that'll never happen. So I'm going to say it again. That was intentional. That is an impossible coincidence. Credit to XRP Drops for that find. But you know what's even more interesting about that? It's not an XRP that 589 is sitting beneath.
You see that? It says 985, 589, right? That's why he's saying it's an impossible coincidence.
In the video, it's a Bitcoin. And that got me thinking. Since Bitcoin and XRP are complementary, as I discussed in this video, because Bitcoin's proof of work energy consumption is by design to generate real value, and how it will be sent over the clean green consensus protocol of the XRP ledger, making them complementary. And also in this video, how the colors of the Bitcoin and Ripple logos were likely chosen because they match ionized liquid gold and silver, which implies the hidden relationship of gold store of value and silver payments, again making them complementary. This all meant to me there was likely a singular effort behind the creation and direction of both of these world-changing cryptos that simply isn't stated publicly, but that the pieces are there to put together. Could that explain why the first time the Bitcoin source code was ever posted in a public forum was 589, May 8, 09? If everything is way more orchestrated behind the scenes than we realize, could it have been a clever team of cryptographers who enjoy riddling, who not only built Bitcoin, but who started the whole 589 thing to begin with? To kick things off with a subliminal 589 embedded into Bitcoin itself? Satoshi didn't stick around for long, by the way. He sent his last ever email on April 23rd, 2011, saying he was moving on to other things. Okay. What happened exactly 5 years, 8 months, and 9 days after Satoshi's last email? Brad Garlinghouse was named CEO of Ripple. What in the world are the chances?
Now that could be why Brad Garlinghouse likes 589, right? This could be it might not be a price prediction. It might just be that Brad is trolling the XRP community because he was hired 589 days, 5 years, 8 months, and 9 days, after this last Satoshi email was sent. Now that could be the reason for 589. I just wanted to take a pause and go through that with you really quickly. If you missed that, I just wanted to explain.
Of Ripple. What in the world are the chances, you guys? And if 589 isn't a clue that things are quietly coordinated behind the scenes, how do you explain this? On May 8, 09, the same date the Bitcoin source code was published in a public forum for the first time ever, the SEC approved release number 34-59895, the file that established the regulatory blueprint that laid the legal and logistical foundation for future digital asset products like Bitcoin ETFs, foreshadowing the tokenized financial future we are entering right now. And it ended in 59895. I said to ChatGPT, holy shit, this specific file served as the whole playbook for digital asset ETFs? And it replied, yes, holy shit is right. This specific SEC file from May 8, 2009 didn't just approve a gold ETF. It codified the architecture that would become the playbook for every single digital asset ETF that followed. Do you realize what this means? It means 589 was coded into Bitcoin and digital assets in general before XRP.
I just thought that was an incredible video. How could I recreate something that perfect? So give him the credit where credit is due. Go take a look. They have a YouTube channel and of course here on X. I'll show you the X account here, 70,000 followers. Go take a look. A lot of really good information. Now, we mentioned Bearable Guy 123 in the earlier reading going through the 589 theory. And so if you want, Bearable Guy has 129,000 followers here on X. Here is his X profile if you want to come take a look at this yourself. And he's posted some really unique pictures that people have spent years trying to decode. And so this was a really kind of famous one that a lot of people were trying to figure out, there's, the bell, the clock here, different colors and who each person is around the table. There's just a lot of mystery around this. Now, two channels that I wanted to highlight that do a pretty good job digging into all of this. One is XRP Digi Gold. And so talking about Bearable Guy image, white horse with green transparent ledgers, both white horses, 2 commas. The XRP is going to be into the thousands. So they are depicting from this. I'm not going to play this because I think this has some music in the background and I just don't want to get the video like banned or taken down. But there's also Xander Zier here, or Sandy V004. We draw this person to follow. And they think that they have solved this other riddle that was put out here. And so kind of they looking at the different colors here. One is the Knight Shields, one is the XRP flag, and one is right here, the XRP colors. Like, so purple with red equals, basically XRP blue. Blue is the US dollar, the standard. Yellow is the euro and the yen. The green is the yuan, and the XRP is white. And so both standards have been broken and fixed. This means that the same standards is shown twice. Now, you could get stuck down this rabbit hole for years of your life if you're not careful. I try not to get too much into the, I don't want to say fringe side because maybe that's the wrong word to use. I just don't think about this too much to have a better description. But this is not like the theory side, conspiracy side. It's fun to take a look at, but like I said, just be careful not to get sucked down this rabbit hole too much. A lot of people think they find meanings in things when there really isn't. So, check your work against other community members and to see if you have any answers to any of this stuff. If you do, send me an email. And if you break down something so good, I will bring it here and make a video on it, as well as give you all of the credit, which I've done in the past when people have sent me information before as well. I hope this was fun, guys. Just want to take a look at this. We haven't talked about this in, I don't know, maybe years. So it's fun to kind of circle back here and take a look at what could be and what might be and maybe what never was. So anyways, thanks guys. Bye. Nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. Please seek financial advice if you need it. Let's get back to the video.